What's going on, guys? In this video we'll be finding out who would win, Dexter Morgan versus Franklin Saint. Would probably be one of the craziest showdowns ever. Some of the things we'll be discussing are their benefits, disadvantages, experience, strength, weakness, smarts, and psychological edge. By the way, it's been about a year since I've watched Snowfall and barely remember any of it, but Dexter is still pretty fresh in my mind. I just finished all 8 seasons a little while ago. Also, this is my first time making a video like this and pretty much have no clue what I'm talking about. A lot of the information is from the video is just from random searches, opinions, and yeah, so just take what you want from it. Also, potentially contains spoilers. Anyways, let's get into it. Quick backstory in case you don't know, Dexter Morgan is a forensic blood spatter analyst for Miami Metro Police Department. Forensics by day and kills by night. He witnessed the death of his mom that left him traumatized and fueled something he calls the dark passenger, his urge to kill. He was raised by Harry Morgan, and Harry made a thing called the Code, a long list of rules for Dexter to follow, so he only kills those who deserve it and teaches him to cover his tracks. Throughout the series, Dexter struggles to have a normal life, and he creates fake emotions and connections with those around him to seem more human and relatable. Okay, next is a quick backstory on Franklin Saint. Franklin is a young man from South Central LA in the 80s. It's a tough time and place with limited opportunities. He was a smart and ambitious young man who wanted more out of his life. He even went to college for a brief period of time. He started off working a low-paying job at a corner store, but soon got pulled into the drug trade. After realizing how much money could be made, Franklin quickly climbed ranks, using his intelligence to build a massive drug empire. Massive. As he gained power, Franklin faced challenges from rival gangs, the police, and even his own family. Over time, the life he chose forced him to make ruthless decisions, and he became more dangerous and morally conflicted as he tried to protect everything he had built. So, something I immediately noticed from the two shows was how many similarities they have. The main idea and meaning of both shows are pretty different, but the characters Dexter and Franklin both had similar arcs. These are some of the similarities I noticed. Starting off, ruthless decisions. Both Franklin and Dexter started their journey with clear goals, but both became more dangerous and ruthless the deeper they go. Franklin had to betray allies, kill rivals, and turn people against him he cared about, all in the name of protecting his empire. Dexter also had to do very similar things, and especially turn against the people he cared about. He had to break his own code, rules, many times to protect himself and his secrets and the few people he cared about. So both of them would almost do whatever it takes to protect the ones they care about, protect what they got. No matter how dirty it was or how messed up, they would do whatever it takes. Next, family issues. The thing I noticed was both Dexter and Franklin hiding their secret lives from their family. Dexter hid his secrets from his sister Deborah, and Franklin hid his secrets from his mom Sissy earlier on in the season. Both Sissy and Deb later found out about their problems, and it caused a bunch of tension and drama. Both of them wanted the best for their family. Well, the family issues runs deep, and it would probably take an entire video explaining the relationships, but both of their family issues played a big part of who they are. Next, moral conflict. Both characters started their path believing they could control the consequences of their actions. Franklin justified his actions as a means to help his family and community. However, as his empire grew, he saw the destruction his product caused, especially in his own neighborhood. He became more conflicted about what he had built, even as he felt trapped in the life he created. Dexter followed his code to justify his killings, believing he was doing what was necessary service to rid the world of evil. Over time, though, he struggled with guilt and self-doubt, questioning whether he was truly any better than the people he killed. His desire to feel more human made him more vulnerable, emotional, and mentally. Both Franklin and Dexter are haunted by their decisions, knowing they created a life that's impossible to escape without losing everything. Next, protecting their legacy. Both characters, Dexter and Franklin, became consumed with trying to protect the empires they built. Franklin, his drug empire is all his hard work, sacrifices, and suffering as rivals, law enforcement, and even his family threatened to tear it apart. Franklin fought desperately to hold on to his power, even when it cost him his humanity. Dexter's empire is his double life, his ability to kill without getting caught while maintaining the image of a normal, helpful person. As people get closer to discovering his secrets like Dokes, Lagretta, Dexter's focus shifts entirely to protecting his identity, even at the cost of his relationships and the people around him. In both cases, their efforts to protect their legacies only drag them deeper into conflict and danger, making it harder for them to escape or redeem themselves. Ooh, that took longer than I thought. Probably spent way too long on that proportion of the video, but oh well. Okay, now it's time for the main part. Dexter Morgan versus Franklin Saint. Who would win? Here are Franklin's benefits. Franklin built a drug empire from scratch, mastering business, negotiation, and long-term strategy. He also has vast financial resources and access to weapons, allies, and corrupt officials in Los Angeles. Bro has street smarts. He grew up in the streets of South Central LA, giving him survival instincts and adaptability. He also operates undetectable in urban environments. Franklin also has emotional resilience. He has been through several betrayals, family turmoil, violent threats, yet remains composed. Franklin is also used to high-stress environments, gunfights, and street altercations. And finally, Franklin is excellent at convincing others to join or fear him, giving him a social edge. I'm sure Franklin has more benefits, but that's all I got for now. Up next is Dexter's benefits. Dexter is a trained blood spatter analyst and a master at reading crime scenes, patterns, and human behavior. Dexter also understands how to manipulate emotions and outthink his enemies. Dexter has stealth and precision. Dexter's experience as a killer makes him good at stalking and ambushing his targets without detection. His kills are clean and leave little evidence. Dexter also has good physical strength and stamina, capable of overpowering victims. Dexter can also blend into any setting without suspicion. The code of Harry also prevents him from making impulsive or reckless moves. Alright, next is the disadvantages. Some of Franklin's disadvantages is impulsive moments. Most of the time, Franklin is calculated, but his emotional attachments like family, friends, can sometimes cloud his judgment. Another big disadvantage is that Franklin has no stealth training. Not trained for stalking or taking people out like Dexter. Franklin relies more on brute force or intimidation. Next is Dexter's disadvantages. Limited resources. Dexter operates mainly solo, without vast networks or financial backing like Franklin. Overconfident. Since he has success as a killer, sometimes it leads him to underestimate clever or unpredictable opponents. Alright, here's a big problem I ran into trying to find a winner. Depending on the universe, series, location, or which show it takes place in, I think it will determine who wins. Here is the reason why Franklin wins in the Snowfall series. Home advantage. Franklin has control over Los Angeles. It would give him an edge. He has connections with corrupt officials, gang members, and access to resources that could overwhelm Dexter. Tactics and surveillance. Franklin could quickly identify Dexter as a threat and set up traps using his territory to outmaneuver him. Another problem is that Dexter's methods rely on stealth and operating in the shadows, which are difficult in Franklin's highly monitored and fortified environment. But here's the reason why Dexter Morgan wins in the Dexter series. Expert tracker. Dexter would study Franklin's habits and weaknesses and isolate him from his resources. Environment control. Miami is Dexter's territory, and he knows how to operate undetected. He could lure Franklin into a situation where he has no allies. Psychological warfare. Dexter could use Franklin's emotional attachments like family and friends against him, exploiting his softer side to gain the upper hand. Here's a more head-to-head comparison, more like a 1v1 or a fight type situation. Strength. I got Dexter. Bro is crazy strong and knows jiu-jitsu, I think. Not sure exactly, but fighting and wrestling, bro is skilled. But don't sleep on Franklin. I feel like Franklin got hands, and near the end of the series, looked like he been hitting the gym. Cardio. I got Franklin. Honestly, he looks like he has more cardio than Dexter, but Dexter probably low-key fast too. It could go either way, but I'm still picking Franklin. Smarts. Both are crazy smart. Franklin uses his for more business-oriented stuff, and Dexter uses his for more analytic and detail and patterns. I think it would be a close determining who takes this one. Honestly, can't pick, so I'm giving them a draw. Backstory. Franklin rose from poverty to drug kingpin. Dexter was a traumatized orphan shaped into a killer by his father's code. For backstory, I'm giving this to Franklin. His backstory sounds cooler and was a major come up, but Dexter's backstory was more trauma and grew up most of his life being the way he is without too much of a character development. Psychological edge. Franklin is persuasive and good at manipulation. Dexter is also good at manipulation and emotional detachment. For this one, I'm giving it to Dexter. Bro's mind was crazy. I mean, the entire show, every episode, it would have moments of hearing Dexter's internal monologue and narrating, explaining, and giving reasoning to whenever he does something. But to be fair, at the end of both series, Dexter and Franklin kind of lost their mind. So pretty much, after all this, the winner is a draw. No, but seriously, couldn't pick a winner. Honestly, it just depends on the location and series. In the Dexter universe, I think Dexter would win. It would be an entire season-long battle trying to get Franklin. And in the Snowfall series, it would be the exact same, both causing serious problems for each other and all come down to one mistake. The psychological factor of it all would be insane. Low-key, I think Dexter might be able to get the win because of how he is, but I don't know. Also, if Franklin got a weapon on him, it might be a wrap for Dexter. Who knows? Another crazy concept to throw in there would be, what if Walter White joined the mix? Absolute madness would break loose. Anyways, leave a comment on who you think would win and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this.